Hey, it's Talia.
And Karen here. We're two best friends telling our story without unnecessary entertainment. Just the straight truth.
No smoke, just mirrors. We talk reflection, relationships, and the rigor of knowing your truest self.
So in lieu of that, I mean, we've spoken a little bit about what our off-peak seasons are and if our comfortability check. How have you navigated the change of that comfortability in your everyday life? I know you spoke somewhat to this, but how do you manifest or start creating that change? Do you look in certain outlets, or do you just I almost don't even want to say it because I know what you're going to say, but how do you change from comfortable to happy, if that makes sense?
Comfortable to happy. I don't know. I just keep challenging myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep
me too.
seeing, right, like it's just another personal goal.
I have to say it's the challenge is what keeps me hungry, if that makes sense.
It does.
It stimulates me in the most weirdest ways where if I do something the same all the time, every time, like I don't even cut my vegetables the same. It's very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's very wife to say, but it's very interesting. Like the small things actually keep you stimulated to be like, oh, this actually works. Or, oh, what if I put this and not that? Or what if I go this route to my errand and not this route? Or what if I try this studio and not the other? Like
right.
All of that manifests in breaking out of that piece.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's good. I think even the smallest to the biggest challenges, I think just doing that for yourself, you're already creating a new style.
I can say that Talia's also biggest trend is reading positively affirmed books.
Yes.
Which you graciously passed on. I don't want to bypass it because I think it's a really good book. I've read the back of it. But
yes. I mean, it's called You're a Badass from Jen Sincero.
Widely popular. And so
yes. I thank my mom for that. She's the one that gave me the book during my hardest year last year.
Love her.
She gave that to me and I was like, I don't feel like reading this.
Yeah.
But little by little, I did, and I got some great insights, and it's been nothing but absolutely positive.
Yeah.
And I feel like now that I finished the book, it took me like a year. Because again, procrastinating.
Yeah. I bought actually I convinced Pablo that it was a good idea to buy the Kerry Washington memoir. Yeah. It's called Above Water or Into Water. I'm going to bleep that out because let me see what the actual name is. Thicker Than Water. Great book so far. I've read chapters 1 and 2 because again, I'm procrastinating, and I bought this such a long time ago. And he's just on my ass. When you're going to finish it? Because he reads at the speed of light.
Right.
He could read a whole book in a day at some point. All seriousness. And I'm just like the slowest reader because I'm doing one in all things. And I just feel like I don't find the time for it. But that has been like a new for me too. I'm like, I need to stimulate my brain in other ways. So I watch different podcasts, which you do too.
Yes, I do.
Surprisingly. I watch different podcasts. I also watch but I watch Spanish soap opera still, like reruns of whatever.
Absolutely same.
Yeah. So I watch a whole bunch of different things and listen to podcasts while I'm at work. Like I'm always having these passive things happening, hearing podcasts at work, watching Netflix at work while I work.
That's so crazy, Netflix.
Yeah. Well, I'll listen to it more than watch it, but it's definitely there. And when I'm home, I can just be reading something off of Instagram or TikTok, but, it's there. It's stimulating you in some way.
I mean, it's great. I mean, personally, I do the same. The podcast for me has been nothing but great. I love to laugh, so I always have to hear, of course, if it's not The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne or
Breakfast Club is popping.
Brilliant Idiots is another fave, or even Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz and the gang.
Mm-hmm.
It's been nothing but we definitely
Laughs.
have different.
We have different
podcast styles, but I just love.
You love the banter.
I do, and I love just talking freely and just like no filter, and that's one thing.
Yeah.
I just enjoy doing, which is why I love watching their.
Yeah, I definitely listen to more calmer podcasts. Well, I right now my all-time fave is Give It To Me Straight. I've also listened to Girls Night. Girls Night is a Christian, not Christian specifically, but it's like moms and womanhood in religion and all facets of their life, and I think that helps me self-reflect a lot.
Awesome.
Girls Night is definitely a fave. Give It To Me Straight. What else do I listen to? Now I'm starting to listen to the Andrew Schultz one, whatever, the Flagrant.
Yes.
Is that it is? Yeah.
I got her
Flagrant
on
is
it.
hysterical. And don't get me wrong, that like spontaneous shit happens when we're not on cam. Let's just say that, all right?
I know, I'll be sending you mad clips.
But we also are, I don't know, I guess when we sit down and we talk, because this actually feels like that, it's very serious for some reason. We were actually saying we should not be serious on this pod.
Because we're not.
Because we're not. But when we get to the business of like, I need you to talk these feelings out, it's a serious convo. It's actually not that playful, if that makes sense. It's very serious. Well, what do you think could happen? How do you think you could handle this situation better? What do you think this is? How do you think this is going to impact you in the next week? Just give me next week ideas. And that helps us pull away from that banter, what the fuck moment when you're just like, I'm sick and tired of this bish. And I can't handle her, or I need people to come correct, etc., etc. Like that part happens, but in snippets. And the larger part of our debrief is always around the more serious aspects. Well, how does this make you feel? How you doing? What are you doing?
It could be such a basic question,
Yeah.
but it really does open a lot of opportunities to have a conversation. Be like, all right, this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let it out, girl.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, I feel like everyone has their own way of speaking to each other. Like,
of course.
Many times, I mean, not many times, wrong word. Nowadays, me and Talia are like, but give it to me straight, for real. Like, truth be told, love you, but that's not it. This is it. So you need to either, can we just agree that you need to agree? Because this is the way you're handling things. I don't give a shit if I'm hurting your feelings at this point. And we don't care. And we don't also take it personal, which is quite new.
Yes.
I think for the first time in a long time, we're just completely honest. And we know that it comes from a safe space. So we just take the heat. Like, she said that to me yesterday. Yesterday? The day before yesterday? You're like, Karen, just please. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I should. Or vice versa. I'll just tell you something, like tell you, I mean, I know you're saying this, but what you're really trying to say is this. Just stop masking it,
Hey, listen, sometimes you might see it a different way and it could be coming out another way.
Mm-hmm. Totally true.
It's just speak your truth.
But so maybe let's just recap here from this quick segment. So reading has been something that has empowered us. Mm-hmm. Listening to podcasts or to things that we like and are attracted to has been new. What else? Changing that. What else would be?
Always being the positive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at times I have to remind you to. I've caught myself many times like, don't say it that way. Mm-hmm. Don't speak it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
change it
right.
up. And that's just thanks to the book, because it helps.
Thanks, Jen.
It helps switch a lot of relationships that when it comes to person, place, or thing. And you have to look at all aspects of your relationship and really find the good in every single way.
And I think when it comes to change can happen in a day for you. Change can happen in months and in years even. But when you've actually come to that change, do you honestly think that like finding happiness has a time limit?
I thought so, but no.
So why don't you say more? Because that's interesting.
I really thought, I gotta say, maybe I thought happiness had to be a time limit when it was pressured.
Mm-hmm.
By 30, you need to have this done. You'll be happy by then because you have to be
societal
this.
norms.
Exactly, the societal norms.
Yeah.
But as I go through life and see it, that I'm like, I get to that age, and of course that pressure gets to you. And I'm happy to say finally I'm actually letting go of those pressures and not letting that affect my daily life or dictate how happy I am at that moment. Because, all right, I'm supposed to have, like, I don't know, my 6th kid in marriage number 1.
I roll.
But it's not like that.
Hell no.
And it's okay. Everybody has a different timeline. And I think that comparing to other people's lives, like I unfortunately get compared a lot to other cousins in my family. But I have learned not to take it personally anymore. I have learned not to be sad about it. Like, oh, I'm not there yet. No, it's not my time. And the more I take time for myself and water my own garden, I've noticed that there's my things that I thought I wanted that was going to make me happy. There was a point in my life that I thought this was it. I can't wait to marry this person. This is probably going to be, I might have to move to the suburbs and stuff like that. I was thinking that was it. I thought that was going to make me happy. But since that ended, it's been nothing but like, oh my God, I would have been miserable.
Mm-hmm. That realization.
And then I'm like, you know what? I have to be happy and grateful where I'm at, and blessed to know that that's not really what I want. And because of these type of tragedies, it has narrowed my vision of what I actually want in my life, that it has nothing to do with time. Nothing to do with time. And I'm done with the social norms. I'm going at the beat of my own drum. And thankfully, I have the friends and the family to support it. And that's all I need. A bunch of pillars in my life that I actually need to keep me strong. And
me and Pabs are your besties.
Of course.
That's it.
He already knows.
Pabs is behind the screen, but he's our bestie.
But it's true. I think it doesn't have a time anymore. There's no limit anymore.
I think also the other part is like, generationally speaking, you need to be happy by the time you're in your mid-20s.
Correct.
You need to find some sort of happiness. Now, I was telling my little cousin this the other day. I'm like, how does someone tell you, or institutions like high school or elementary school tell you that you need to know what your next choice is, right? So he's at the crossroads of graduating high school and going to college. And he's like, well, I'm a musician, so I know I want to do that. And he's like, but I don't know what to do if I'm not going to do that. And it's just like, well, how does someone tell you that you have to choose? Like, that is mind-boggling to me. And in that same path, I think when you really just don't necessarily know what happiness will look like in a couple of months or years, you can't put a time limit on it. I think society and life tells you, at this age, you should be happy because you should be married. Yep. Or, I mean, this is just straight womanhood. And maybe it's cultural too, but cultural tells you you have to be married, you have to have 3 kids, you have to own a house. And if not, what are you waiting for?
You're behind.
You're behind, and you're late, and you're a late bloomer. And it's all these like judgment, like arrows coming at you.
You feel attacked every minute.
It's like exhausting. It's literally mind exhaustion. It's crazy.
It's a mind fuck. And a lot of people don't know how to go through those pressures. And myself included. I was very much...
You really were.
I really was. I was doing it just to get everybody else happy. You know?
Or to check a box.
Yeah. Okay, I have to get my mom a grandkid. Okay, I have to figure this out. I have to marry it. But before that, I have to do this. And it was all about what I needed to do instead of what the fuck makes me happy. And this is where I have to say, this past year, when things didn't go as what I thought it was going to be. And I'm glad for it. You did me a favor. And I have to say, things happen, and I have to just embrace it and accept it and understand that that wasn't really meant for me. And again, a rejection is always a redirection. And just understand that. So...
Yeah, and I think in that same space, you want to be able to think about how this is actually going to transcend in the long run, right? How do you break those social norms? Should you? It's all these questions that are yet to be unanswered, and this is the basis of our topics of regular everyday discussions. Like, how do I get this not to happen for you and for me? Now that I'm married, you're living on your own. Now that you have all this like whirlwind of things you're doing, and I'm very routine. How do we get something not to happen? That's her new one. Not how do we get something to happen. How do we stop this from happening? How do we stop society telling us that we need to do something? How are we okay with breaking those generational boundaries? Are we okay? What happens when those boundaries are met? How do we deal with confrontation? Like all of these how not to do things is our newest vibe, I think. It's great. How not to do something is way better than how to do something, honestly.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm with it.
So it's been nothing but an enjoyable ride.
Yeah. So in that pursuit, of course, because I'm always going to transition us to something that I'm personally curious about, how is happiness constructed for you? How is it built? Let's just put it that way.
How is it built?
How is happiness built for you?
I have to say, as cliche as it sounds, it's really respecting and loving myself.
Amen, sister.
I have to say.
Amen.
I mean, God knows I don't want to be any Pinterest.
You want to be a Pinterest board.
But it's so true. It's
no shade on Pinterest.
No,
we love Pinterest.
Honestly, absolutely. But
just on it all day.
But it's something that I'm like, it's all good. I'm actually loving and enjoying myself. And it's something that I never thought. I was actually doing that in the pandemic, and then I got in a relationship, and then I completely forgot it. And then now that I'm out of it, it's been nothing but like, I just remember like the minute that ended, the dream that I decided to put aside or forget once I got in a relationship automatically came back up, and it's been nothing but on my mind.
And you've been working towards it like
Absolutely.
Every day. Yeah.
And it's something that I have to say comes in realizations like, I can't believe I put my dream aside for somebody else. Thinking I was going to make... It goes back to like wanting to please everybody, but you forget yourself.
I mean, you never want to forget that you wanted to do it either. Like, don't take yourself out of the equation just because you want to make sure that you're doing something for others.
I didn't do it intentionally.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
it just
like,
happened.
It happened in that way, and it was construed that way. But
for sure,
you definitely wanted that.
I wanted that, but I knew that was not the direction that I could take along somebody with me.
Yeah,
I knew that it was either A or B, because it ain't C. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, in order to pretty much check off the happy checklist, I'm gonna have to go with A. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm kind of saying. I didn't do it like, well, today I'm gonna forget myself. Congratulations.
To the fucking loo.
No, it happened gradually. I instantly saw myself conforming into like wanting to do everything for this person.
That's such a key word.
It's just, it happened fucking oddly, like simultaneously. It just happened. And I caught myself.
It was also happening without you being aware of it.
Correct.
Like, I think
yes,
she got to a point where she was just like, what am I doing here?
Absolutely.
I need you to get me out or help me figure out a way.
What the hell to do.
Yeah.
It was one of the few times that I remember even telling you, it was like, what the fuck?
Just WTF.
Yes. Yeah. It's just, you caught yourself in a moment like, I don't know if I'm doing what's best for me, and I don't know if I should do what's best for me.
Yeah.
It was very much like that, but I gotta say, I wasn't in a good mindset. So ever since that glass broke, it's just been nothing but coming back to what I want in my life. And that's what I've been focusing on, which is why I gave myself an amazing journey of healing, and it's been nothing but ups. Of course, it's a journey. This shit is not night and day. It's a process. But you know what? As many like to say, you're still a masterpiece, but always a work in progress.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Come in
I've
with
been
the
told that by
quote.
somebody, yes.
Yeah. No, but honestly, it's true. I feel like you honed in on something so important, and that's mindset. Like mind over matter is
Absolutely
something that you're taught, I think, from a very early age, but you never believe it's true. And now in our 30s, it's pretty true.
Yeah,
it's pretty true. It's pretty fucking true.
It fucking is.
Yeah,
and that's why it's funny because I even told that to my dad because my dad would always be like, "Your mind will always trick you. You need to be stronger." Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, "Okay, Dad." Mm-hmm. But
sure,
you know, listen, sure.
Dad. Love you lots.
Quotes. But he
Love
was right.
Her dad.
Absolutely
Love
right.
him.
I thank him for being that rock. And I told him, thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for always drilling that on my head over and over. And I was like,
along with your fruit juices.
Absolutely.
Along with the 5 a.m. runs. Oh my God. So we live in New York City, which means that everything is walkable. I don't walk.
That's your car, your legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
If my car breaks down, I'm stuck. Like me jodo, I don't.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't function.
In LA.
So, but here, Talia's dad used to always
walk everywhere.
Make her, so he would come periodically from his country and would just like make her walk a bridge. Like, I mean, we were like 13 when you started doing that, right? Like 13, 14.
Like, why?
She's like, for what? Just for what? Karen, my legs are destroyed.
Would not be able to walk.
Yeah, would come. He'd be like, what do you mean? Get your ass up. Don't be a lazy bitch. Like other shit, right? But don't be a lazy bitch. Come up. Let's go. You got to do what's right for you. You got to put your mindset right. Like in hindsight, all of these years of get your ass up and let's get to work. And I don't mean physical work. I mean like actual mental work. Get your mind positive.
Read a book.
It was always there.
Always.
It was always there. And we never paid attention. I mean, I put myself into the equation even though I didn't live with them. But it was always there and none of us paid attention to it. We're like, sure.
Like, I'm sleeping in. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But now I gotta say, it's
now you're your father.
I'm slowly becoming my dad. I walk. I do my 2-hour walks to the city. I try to get 20,000 steps as much as I can.
She's trying to get me to walk home.
Oh my God! But did I not get you sneakers to get your ass up and walk?
I wear the sneakers. I wear the sneakers to Costco. I wear the sneakers to the supermarket.
What I got.
I wear the sneakers just because I really like them and they're very comfy. She branded these sneakers as you're gonna feel like you're walking on a cloud, and I do. I'm never gonna forget that. I do.
Brooks, yep.
I just don't walk different boroughs. So it's not what I do. Yeah. Totally fine. So let's talk about this winning phase. I feel like winning is the new vibe in 2024, at least for us, but also for many of you. What does winning mean to you? Like winning in happiness, winning in life. Give me the vibe. Give me the breakdown.
What is winning in happiness? Good question. Winning in happiness.
This is why I plan for a week
plan,
straight.
For sure. Again, I think it's just being better than yesterday.
Yeah,
I think for me, it's being better than yesterday. Trying to do something in order for me to improve my mindset, my discipline. Whatever is going to make me a better person tomorrow, I'm going to make sure I can squeeze that in and try to do it. Like reading a new book. I just finished You're a Badass, and I passed it on to Karen, and now I'm going to do 48 Laws of Power.
Now they're going to hold me accountable for this book read.
100. But, you know.
It's not good.
I just want to be healthy, mind, body, and soul. And that's kind of right now my goal. Because, yeah.
I have a follow-up.
Shoot.
Do you think, because she's been working on the physical part for a while, do you think that has stemmed in building the mind in that winning area?
No.
Or the other way around?
It was the other way around for me.
Shoot.
I had to get my mind right before I can make the step of wanting to decide to do this for physically.
That's so interesting.
I wasn't...
Is it a revolving circle? So like your mind is good, your body's good, then you're back to your mind is good, then you're back to your body's good.
It's my mind, body, and soul. So I have to put my soul, things that I enjoy, like treating myself. I take myself out.
Trader Joe's. I think you need to check or make a list of all the locations that you go to.
My God, all of them.
She's like, I went to this one. I'm here at this one.
23rd Williamsburg High.
First Ave.
Yes.
First Ave, yeah.
Oh my God, even 3rd Ave. But
those are like the sweet spots.
Absolutely. But that's the thing. Like the physical is obviously waking my ass up at 5 a.m. And then like the mindset is adding a book, speaking to the people that I love. The soul is kind of treating myself right. You know what? I'm going to get myself a nice cup of coffee today. I'm going to treat myself to a good salad. Or I'm going to just give myself an experience. And do things that I love to do. Watch a good movie. Spend time with friends. Things that kind of make me happy is being around the people that I love. And just getting all that positivity. Because boy, peace over chaos is now my new thing now. I don't care anymore. Like, if you're not going to bring peace to my life and you just bring chaos and drama, you can stand right out the door. That's a boundary that I have placed in all aspects of my life, that I'm not here to entertain it. I am happy in this journey that I'm in, which is why I surround myself to the people who truly, I guess, water my cup as well as I do my best to water their cup. And that goes hanging out with you, that goes hanging out with my mom, or hanging out with some family, or hanging out with other friends.
Yeah.
Like my friend Michelle, I do. And so...
You love girls' time.
I love girl time. And, you know, and here's the thing. We all go through things. And I have always been, as well as yourself, we've always been like, I don't know what to do. And we have no problem helping. Like, I know all my friends are going through a little something. But it's okay. The whole point of this is to always keep each other accountable and be each other's motivation and be each other's cheerleader. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, I am so happy to say that I have that. I really, really do. And it's been nothing but... It's what gets me up every day.
Yeah.
Knowing that I have myself and I got myself, and I also have people that got me too. And, you know, you very much know that you have that too.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's something that you said earlier, and it left my brain right now. But there was something that you said that I think it was that you have your people, but before that you said you have yourself. And I honestly never really knew that until last year. It was like the rudest awakening.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could count on myself. As odd as that is, because I'm so self-sufficient.
Amen, yeah.
It's like the biggest paradox, I think, because on one hand, I'm really self-sufficient and I get my shit done and I don't really need help from anybody. And on the other hand, I'm like screaming for emotional help. It's insane.
Good point.
It's just insane. And last year for me, when I was in my off-peak season, it was, how the hell am I going to get out of here alive? How am I going to get out of here with my heart in one piece? How am I going to get out of here knowing that I will leave the survival area or space and come into the peaceful space? Like, I didn't know how to do that until last year. And I'm 32, so technically that would mean I was 31. 31 was a difficult year for me. But in that particular space, I really started finding my wins. Like, my win was continuing my plan without deviating for others. I've always deviated my plans for everyone. It's something that everyone knows that I will do, so it's almost an expectation, or it was an expectation at some point. And I just kind of was like, nope, close book. You're not here. Sorry.
Busy.
I signed out. I clocked out. I'm not coming back until next year. Like,
good for you.
And it was such a hard process, and it's not something that I'm okay with every day. There's times where I'm okay, and there's times where I call Talia and I'm like on the floor crying about it. And, you know, it's not something that I'm proud to speak about, but it's also something quite true. And I think the more you endure yourself in the most vulnerable spaces, just like in the most strong spaces, I think the more raw you become in being able to advocate for yourself in some way, whether that just means acknowledging your feelings to yourself or even saying it to someone else. You know, it's very empowering. And that has been my biggest win. And Tal's like, thank the fucking Lord. It's about damn time. And I'll let you talk on that.
No need to say it, right?
It's been such a long time. Y'all don't know me that much, but I've been doing this for many years. Like, just putting myself second, because I actually get pleasure out of it, as odd as that sounds, in doing things for others. But I've left myself behind for so many years that I think this was the first time that I'm like, no, it's about me.
Good.
And no one really got it. It was a hard pill to swallow for many. Hence that. So, it was a hard pill to swallow for many. And I think it was something necessary. And that was my biggest win. And I don't want it to go yet. So I'm just continuously finding my wins in small things, like putting my pride to the side and taking initiative and meeting up with a relative, which I just did this past weekend. Being more intentional about what I say and meaning it. I think there was a point in my life where I was just saying things because I knew they made other people feel good, but I didn't really think them. Not to you, but to others. And no, I'm serious. Don't give me that face. I would never lie to you. Just the one person that I've never really lied to.
Campbell.
She'll know this like 5 miles away. But at some point it was just like open air, like dead air. It wasn't meaningful at all. And I got to the point where I felt like I was just throwing out like Siri geared or Google geared answers, and that wasn't good, right? Like, there was no like self-worth or no worth in my words at some point. And again, not to people who I really, really love, but honestly to others. And my win is being transparent now. If you're going to ask me for my opinion, and we always say, if you're going to ask me for my opinion, you better be expecting the great things of what I think and also the not so great things that I think, because they're meant to stimulate you and help you in a way that I think you need help. And also, like, don't fucking offer. Like, don't ask for shit if you don't want to receive
Agreed.
the rawest answer. That's stupid.
I just think be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people think that we have to sugarcoat it. And I always tell people, you're looking at the wrong two people.
I see.
Absolutely. I don't to me, I have to say, in general, if everybody gives me a good vibe, I'm going to give you an honest, straight up critique on my end. Not critique, but like more like, I'm going to give you an honest answer. Mm-hmm. Now, I hate to say it, but I guess I'm petty like that. But if I don't like you, I'll be like, you're doing great, keep going. But if I really care, 100%, if I really, really care for you, I'm going to sit there with you and be like, in all sincerity, you need to do this, you need to do that. I want you to thrive. That's me telling you, I want you to thrive. Mm-hmm. Because, again, everybody has their own journey. It's really not a competition. Yeah. It's not a competition. And I know a lot of people see it that way. A lot of people can't see other people doing good and stuff like that. And I'm not wired that way. Everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different journey. And just embrace your own path. There's no need to pretty much put anybody else down because you're not doing great. No, focus on you, and everybody needs to focus on themselves. But when it comes to a group of people and you want to know sincerely what we think, no problem. I would gladly tell you, because I also want you to thrive. And it's something I've always said to everybody that has been absolutely close to me. If you're happy, I'm happy. And I hope it is vice versa. And trust me, as we can see within the last year itself, it wasn't always reciprocated when it came to our turn. And that's it's okay. So true. This is why things in life happen, so you can, and you're put in these uncomfortable spots in your life, because there's things you have to remove out of your life, and there's things that you're going to have to pretty much align yourself with. And now I had to do that all last year, just like you had to do that all last year. We had to take people out of our lives. We had to understand what it means for people to walk away. But that also shows you that it narrows down. And now you're in a very comfortable, safe space.
A happy place.
And a happy place.
I wouldn't say it's comfortable. I'd say that it is
It was uncomfortable.
It's graceful now, and it's also a safe space. Grace.
Now.
Yeah, now.
You're right. It wasn't comfortable. I mean, meaning like it's uncomfortable having to do those things.
Yeah.
But that's also the universe telling you that you need to shake things up a bit. Something's not right here.
You got to rattle the cage.
And you got to rattle the cage.
Amen.
Get the animal out of the cage, and you need to start fixing it up because
make your moves.
There's something off here, and you need to make it right. And we're going to show you what it is. That's why you have to embrace all types of seasons in your life, because that is moments of telling you it's time to cut throat.
I hear that. Now, before we get to what we think are great steps to finding happiness, because we all want to find happiness.
Of course.
Just one quick question, and you can elaborate and not, but is happiness your ultimate goal?
No.
Wow, that was quick. I was going to say, yeah.
I think happiness is a guide about what's going to be your purpose in life.
What does that mean?
Meaning that I'm happy now, genuinely with myself, but this is not my end goal. I know there's more that I have to thrive, but I'm using my happiness and what stimulates in me to guide me to the right direction. I don't really know what my end goal, but I know I need to find my purpose. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Which is why, like, the way this been guiding led us to here.
It really has.
And then with this, we don't know where that's going to lead us to the next step or the next opportunity. So I'm going with what stimulates more my body, mind, and soul. This is part of my soul part. The podcast is what stimulates my soul. And doing these things with you. That's what's stimulating. So I'm trying to hit all those 3 targets personally for myself.
Yeah.
And I'll see what the next idea is going to guide me to next.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I'm going with it. Happiness personally to me is like a guidance. And that's how I kind of see it, which is why, like, I'm not saying it's a life goal. I feel like it's pretty much saying that at the end of the day, your goal is to be happy. No, you need to be happy throughout your whole progress and to finally become that ultimate masterpiece. But you still are. But you just have to be happy in every season of your life, because even though there's some low ones and there's some high ones, you need to embrace there's positivity in everything, in every season.
I actually think it's the other way around.
That's crazy.
I think my life goal is finding happiness, not in a specific task or in a specific space. Like, if I find a house, I may not be happy, right? If I have 3 kids, I may not be happy. But I think happiness is my ultimate goal. Making sure that I am content in the life that I live every day, for good or for worse. It's the way that I endure my happiness, because that's what I'm always searching for. It's not like a thing or a scenario or a project. It's absolutely not. It's actually the feeling itself. I need to make sure I'm happy, and that makes me good no matter where I am. I could be in a shoebox. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Happiness is like at the core of the forefront. And I think that's what makes me be in the routine life so much easier, and maybe allows me to embrace each particular chapter in the way that I do. And I'm not saying you don't. I just think we look at it very differently. Like,
Just okay.
It's fine. But I think I'm always looking for happiness, and if I find happiness here, and it'll work. Like, happiness has a different scale. From 0 to 100, I may be 25 happy in this particular space. I may be 75% here, and I'm going to stick to that. So I'm always measuring my level of happiness, and that has led me to find my partner. It's also led me to be more productive in my own life, like putting goals and making sure that I'm equipped with the tools that I need to have those goals, making sure that I'm constantly learning, that actually brings me a lot of happiness. So yes, it's the process, and that's the same for both of us, but I always look for the feeling. And I think it's because I've never probably felt happy until this last year. Like, completely. I'm in my happy phase. There are times where I just want to kick the door down. We're not going to shake that off, right? There are days where I just want to pull my hair out, and there are days that I can't figure my life out, but generally speaking, I'm in a happy place. And I think that is shown in the boundaries that I put, that is shown in the actions that I take, that is shown in the projects that I'm doing, which is now with this pod. I think in general, I'm always searching for the feeling, and opportunities happen that lead me, or that give me validation that that feeling is authentic and it is true and it is very much present in whatever life space that I am. If that makes sense.
Well said. I mean,
thanks.
It's a beautiful thing. We both have two different perspectives.
Yeah,
and again,
for sure.
It's all good. I love it because, it's two different views.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. All right. So here's what we have to say about happiness. Or in general, right? Like the one question we wanted to answer was, are you really happy or are you just really comfortable? Comfy or uncomfy is how we think about it. I personally think that this episode has probably been one of the ones that has stimulated controversy. We're pretty much on the same page most days. So I really loved the whole yes but no situation that happened earlier. But what do you think? Are you really just happy? Are you really comfortable? Give me some words of wisdom, some words of advice.
I think I have to say that I'm happy.
I think you are too.
I think I'm happy.
You're in your happy phase.
I'm in my happy phase. And it's good.
She's all cheeky and rosy. She's tired.
100%.
Bad bitch is tired.
I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Fuck. But it's a good thing. Yeah, I think I'm in my happy phase. Am I comfortable? No, because I'm doing a lot of things that is challenging myself every single day. Just getting up at a decent time and not missing my class is a challenge of itself.
Also, they give you penalties, so it is what it is.
Another
that definitely stimulates
motivation. Good one, class. Good one. But yes, I'm happy to say that I'm truly am happy. And I guess a great advice for that is, finding happiness in all seasons, in all chapters of life. There's beauty in every single season. I know we have some good long ones, and trust me, I've been there. Last year was mine, a little bit, not the whole year. But it just helped me care for myself more. It helped me change my mindset. I view the world a little bit different now. I realize that I am so happy understanding what I want this time. And I ain't here to, I'm putting myself first and not putting anybody else first. Ever.
It's tea season.
It's literally tea season. So
come correct.
It was a sad moment, but I made it into a happy moment. And I've been nothing but has been serving me right, and I've been thriving. And like I said, you have to find the positivity in every single season. Because again, life is a journey. And go through it and enjoy the ride.
And I'm glad you said that, because my particular maybe advice or words of wisdom was around voicing your feelings to yourself. When you allow yourself that raw space of, I just fucked up, or I did a really good deed today and I'm so proud of me, is probably the first step to building like self-strength and self-worth. without a doubt. And I think that was an all-time new for both of us. But I'm just like, I'm so freaking proud of you. Every morning I'm like, I'm proud of you for getting to class on time and not getting there 5 minutes late and having the door locked, or
that's not fun.
Yeah, or I'm proud of you for saying this, stepping up to the plate. I'm proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone at work. I'm the biggest champion for everybody. I love uplifting people. Yeah, you know, I might have my times where I may judge people, and I'm not going to say that doesn't happen, because it does. But for the most part, I want to say I thrive on like seeing other people win. That's kind of like my go. And I feel like I accept people and give them grace.
You do. Not me, but you do. I don't give too much graces.
Under your tongue. Not me.
I don't give too much graces.
I do. But that only happens when I find that it's genuine. I'm never going to be like, oh my God, true. Yes, love your outfit. I can give two shits. If I don't like you, I don't like you anymore.
Absolutely.
If I rock with you, I rock with you. If we're good, yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't care. So I personally think one of the things that has helped me is not necessarily writing things down, but taking mental notes of, this made me feel shitty. Don't let it happen again. Mm-hmm. This made me feel empowered. Seek it over again. And once, for instance, Talia approached me with this idea of doing a pod. I'm like, that's going to cut into my schedule. That's going to make me feel like I have to do something else. It's the weekend. Like, I just have a million things to do every weekend for some odd reason. And then she's like, no, I want to do this and I want to do it with you. So you let me know when you're ready and I'm on board. Isn't that what you kept saying for like a year? It was a year, it was probably like a good year. And I was like, all right. I'm like, you know what? All right. You want to do this? I'm going to sit down and plan with you, because I'm the planner. I'm the one who brings the structure. Talia's the one with the ideas. So I'm like, you have this idea? Great. I'm going to put it down on paper. Whatever you need to do, I'm going to help you figure it out. I'll prompt you. I'll challenge you. I'll like pick your brain. That's kind of always been maybe one of my biggest strengths, I'd say.
It really is. It's not my strength.
So a lot of what I will do is advocate for those feelings, but also advocate them now within myself. Once I've opened that gateway to say, you know, I feel this way, is this good or bad? I think that has really opened the door to help me advocate for myself and articulate those feelings to other people. It's in a very slow pace. I'm not going to say all of a sudden I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No, absolutely not. But I think to a certain degree, it's really helped me manifest who I am in this space and give me that grace and closure to know that I am me and I accept me for who I am. And it just has really like broken down the barriers of people being able to hurt me. I think now I'm in a space where I'm hurt because of past experiences, but they're not going to hurt me anymore because I'm not going to allow it. And that's just like my own self-strength or self-value, self-worth, or whatever you want to call it.
Self-protection at times.
Yeah, protection. Mm-hmm. So if you can do anything, voice it within yourself first, acknowledge and accept and give strength to your words, to you first, and that will help you, in my opinion, manifest these same ideas and thoughts and feelings to others.
You got yourself. Just remember that.
You get it. You go out there and you get what you need to do.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. Feed your soul.
Cha-ching. All right. So let's cheers, because we normally end with the cheers. We have water today, but even though contrary to popular belief, you can't cheers with water, tonight we are cheersing with water because it's Sunday.
It could be tequila in your eyes. You don't know.
Yes. Better than vodka. We don't do vodka. But cheers to what? I'm going to give you the opening envelope.
Are you giving me?
I'm giving you the mic.
Cheers to yourself. Cheers to the fact that you might have a lot of doubts in yourself. We all have it. But just remember that the longest relationship you're ever gonna have in your life is with yourself. So give yourself grace, give yourself some love, and give yourself a lot of patience going through the hurdles and learning the hurdles. Always be graceful to yourself and be grateful where you're at. Mm-hmm. And it will always get better if you have that humbling, I don't know, what's that word? I guess satisfaction for yourself. But always understand that you got you. And once you got you,
the rest is a breeze.
The rest is a breeze. You'll be A-okay.
Amen.
So, keep thriving.
Keep thriving, and cheers.
Cheers. Until the next episode.
Peace, guys.
Bye.